questa introduzione romana. Da, nici în engleză nu sunt mai bune. Hi and welcome. This is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and this is the Supernatural Snap Show. This is where I want to do 2-minute, 3-minute reviews of various supernatural TV shows that I watch. I'm talking vampires, werewolves, witches, all that good crap. So this week I want to talk about True Blood, but mostly about the season 1 finale of Teen Wolf. So with True Blood Spellbound, we saw the counterattack from the vampires against Antonia, who attacked them last week. And I have to say that Bill is a very good king if he only lost one vampire in that attack. Also, Eric and Suki fucking again, you know, Eric just a big old Swedish fuck toy right now, does nothing but have sex with Suki and kind of adores her and stuff, and is pretty much dead as a character to me because there's nothing interesting about that character anymore. The fact that he doesn't want his memories back, he doesn't want to be awesome again, speaks so much about that character. But let's hope that next week we're going to see more character development from him, because I thought that this memory wipe thing would be good for him. We would see another side of him, but we are seeing nothing but Suki adoration, and we've seen that for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I'm getting really tired of it. And we're also in the situation where Suki is the one that has to tell him to get some balls. That's terrible. That I confirmed my suspicions this week that Alcide's new werewolf boss is Luna's baby's daddy. And I think we're going to see, I think it's very interesting that they made this new pack leader be a competent leader, but having some issues at home. And I think Alcide and the new pack leader, his name escapes me right now, are definitely going to get into a conflict at some point. But it remains to be seen whether it's going to be because of Alcide's involvement with Suki or because of the pack leader's involvement with his family. Jessica had a most interesting episode. I really like what Deborah Ann Woll did this week with her, because she went from being a complete evil bitch to being a victim. You can't help but feel sorry for Jessica at the end, but at the same time you realize that she kind of brought this on her because she's the one that thought that Hoyt wasn't enough anymore. But on the other hand, given the fantasy that she had at the beginning of the episode where she heard Hoyt, I think that part of her motivation for breaking up with him is to keep him safe. True Blood this week, it was a good episode. It wasn't as good. For some reason, I don't think it was as good as last week's episode. Maybe because last week had such amazing scenes between Jessica and Bill. But overall, you know, I'm glad to see that the conflict between vampires and witches is not going to be resolved in one episode. It is definitely better plotted than the whole Russell Edgington situation from last year. The first season of Teen Wolf is also over with the finale Codebreaker, and I have to say this finale was all over the place. They really went over the top with a lot of stuff. They even had the classic girl kisses werewolf boy while he's in his wolf form bit right at the end. But I can't help but feel that this was all kind of rushed. They threw everything in there, including the kitchen sink. Some very important bits of exposition were passed over for the sake of having slow motion walks and whatnot. I was really surprised that they killed the 2 main villains of this season. I thought that at least one of them would survive. But I have to say, the fight at the end of this episode, why are all the fights in Teen Wolf, why do they all take place in the same fucking place? I mean, I swear to God, I think this is the 3rd fight that I see in that old rickety-wreckety house. And the CGI for this show, I have to admit, is so terrible. Like when they open their mouths and show their fangs, those fangs look so fake. It's unbelievable. That being said, I just think that last week's episode was better than this finale. But I have to say that this episode was Styles' episode. Styles got so much shit in this episode, and he handled it so well. You know, he was pissed on by Peter the Alpha, pissed on by his father, pissed on by the Argents, the Hunters, but throughout it all, he maintained his composure and his sense of humor. So Styles really, I think the writers are finally figuring out that they lucked out with this young actor. The most memorable scene of the finale is the scene where Peter the Alpha offers offers Styles werewolfness, and Styles refuses even though he doesn't really want to. So he's one character that I go into the second season being very curious what's going to happen to him, especially I also love his relationship to his dad. But what was heavily insinuated in this finale, after all was said and done, is that Derek Hale might be the new villain of the second season. I really don't want that, because I don't want there to be like this preconception that all alphas are evil nut jobs, you know. It's just, and if you kill an alpha, which you kind of have to do if you want to survive, you become a evil, psycho, crazy killer too. I really don't want that. I really don't want it, because in that case, fuck, hunters really need to kill these werewolves. So I don't know what's going to happen in the second season. I hope that Derek is not going to be the main villain. But then again, Jackson acting as a sidekick to Derek, too hot to contemplate. So much hotness.